Hi everyone, it's Allison with Squiggly Pigs here, and today I'm going to show you how to make a cuddle cup bed for your guinea pigs. So you'll need a few supplies to get started. You'll need about 3/4 of a yard of fleece fabric. You'll need a scissors, something to mark the fabric with, like this Sharpie, a straight edge, and a tape measure. And then you'll need this cotton batting. So this is the brand I use, Polyfill, and that makes for a really fluffy bed. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so to get started, we'll go ahead and cut out the fabric. So what you'll need is one strip of fabric here that measures 34 inches long and 5 inches deep. And then you'll need a little bit smaller of one. This one is 31 inches long and 5 inches deep. And then you'll need 2 circles of fabric. So this one is an 11-inch diameter, so 11 inches all the way across. And this one is 10 inches all the way across. So these will become the walls and the floor of your cuddle cup. So these two will be the outside, and these two will be the inside. So if you'd like to use different fabric for the inside, you can do that as well. Today we're going to use the same fabric. So now what we're going to do is lay all of the fleece fabric and cut around it on this cotton batting. So the way I like to do it is literally smooth it out and then cut all the way around. And we're going to do this with all 4 of those pieces, so the 2 circles and the 2 longer strips of fabric. I like to do, a lot of people will only put this fluffy fabric on one layer. I like to do both layers because it makes it a lot thicker of a bed. Alright, and then once you do that, we're actually going to sew all the way around, just around the outside of each one. You can also go ahead and pin it instead. I just find that sewing ends up making it a little bit more of a crisp finish when you're done. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so now we have all of the fleece pieces sewn with the cotton on the back. And I just sewed right up to the edge on there. So now what we're going to do is take this all to the sewing machine again, and we're going to sew basically these pieces all the way around the circles. And when you're sewing, make sure that the 2 fleece pieces are facing each other. So in other words, both right sides together. So that will ensure that you won't see the seams when you flip it outside, or flip it inside out. So we'll go over to the sewing machine now and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so to start off, I always set the circle down first and then line up one of the edges just like so, and start just a couple inches from the edge of this fabric here. So I'd say about right here. And then basically we are going to take this and sew all the way around. So I'll do that now. Alright, so we're going to stop right when you get to the last couple inches and pull the fabric out. And my reason for doing this is because fleece is really stretchy, and a lot of the times it can stretch while you're sewing it. So what I do is I just make sure that it hasn't stretched very much, and it has actually. So as you can see, there's a little bit of overlap there. So I'm just going to basically cut off a little bit of that so it lines up perfectly. So I'm going to cut this strip all the way up. Trying to do this all one-handed, so I apologize. Okay, so now you have this kind of openness here. We're going to close it up. So you're going to take both of these sides of strips, and you're going to sew them together right here, right down this line. Alright, so we sewed down that line, and now we just have this little openness right here again. Let me get some of these strings out of the way. Okay. So you have this hole in your bed right now. We're just going to sew that little hole closed. Okay, so now you have sewn the long strip onto the 11-inch circle, and this is going to form the outside of your bed. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to do that with the exact same thing with the smaller circle and the smaller strip of fleece. Okay, so now you've sewn both of these. They're kind of floppy looking circles right now. You're going to take the smaller of the two and flip it inside out. Okay. So now this one, fleece is on the inside, small one, the fleece is on the outside. You're going to shove the smaller one inside here, and I always like to align the two seams here. Okay, so we have these two lined up. You're going to sew all the way around the rim of this here. And this can be a little bit awkward to sew since it's already flopping around here. So I'll show you a little bit of it, and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, so now you have basically this inside-out bed. It's sewn all the way around the top edge here. So now we just need to cut out the opening in the bed. And this can really be any shape that you want, but I'll show you what I like to do. Okay, so now you can kind of see what's going to be happening here. And so you can make that any opening that you'd like, any width. So now we're going to flip it right side out. Okay, and when you first start pulling that bed inside out, it basically looks like nothing. So if you find the smaller of the two circles, which is this one, you can kind of just pop it in there, and it will eventually start to take shape. Alright, so that looks like a bed. But it does have this hole at the front, so we are going to sew that closed. So I fold a little bit of it into itself. I would say about 1/4 of an inch here. And then I sew it shut just all the way down. So on the sewing machine, see if I can get the lighting better. And you're going to have to keep adjusting this because it's going to want to pucker out. You'll just have to keep folding it inwards and sewing down here. Alright, so once you sew that shut, everything is all done. You have a bed. Now there's also some hidden stitches you could do, such as a ladder stitch if you don't want that seam showing, but I think it looks fine and the guinea pigs don't seem to care. So there's the new bed. Be sure to comment below if you have any questions, and have a great day.